In this video, we'll be looking at cylinders and how to find their lateral area, their surface area, and their volume. Now, a cylinder is a solid with congruent circular bases that lie in parallel planes. Basically like a can of soup. Trash can is in some ways a cylinder. A cup can be a cylinder. What we're looking at is two circular bases that are congruent. Now, the lateral surface area of a cylinder can be expressed by 2 pi r h. That means 2 times pi times the radius of the cylinder times the height. The total surface area is 2 pi rh, so we're taking the lateral, and we're going to add the two bases. So the area of two bases is 2 pi r squared. And the volume is represented by big B times h. This is what you'll see on your formula chart. Big B, once again, means the area of the base, and h is the height. Now, let's work this through a little bit and think about it. If big B is the area of the base, and the base is always the circle of a cylinder, then I can rewrite big B as pi r squared, and then bring down the h. Once again, this is what you'll get on your formula chart when you go to take your STAR test. This formula here is the better one to know, but it will not be on your chart. So let's go ahead and try an example. Here we have a cylinder. I want you to pause it and try making the chart for LA, SA, and V and see if you can solve for those before we even tried it. Alright, so let's make the chart and see how you did. So LA, SA, and V for volume, of course. So the lateral area formula is 2 pi rh. Once again, the lateral area is the distance around the side, not the distance around the side, I'm sorry, the area of the part around the side. So it does not include the area of the bases, just the sides. So we need to know r and we need to know h. Surface area is 2 pi rh plus 2 pi r squared. So once again, all we need is r and h. And the volume is big B times h, which we know really equals pi r squared h. So all we need is r and h. Oh, look, r and h for everything. So my diameter is 24, which makes my radius 12. And then my height is 30. So now all I got to do is plug in. And this is sometimes the hardest step for some people. So 2 pi, because we're going to leave it in terms of pi. We're not actually going to multiply the 3.14, times the radius of 12 times the height of 30. So 2 times 12 times 30 gives you, let's see here, 30 times 12 is 360 times 2, so 720 pi inches squared. Now, if it asks you to round it, you would actually do 720 times 3.14 in the calculator. Here, it's going to be 2 pi times 12 times 30 plus 2 pi times 12 squared, because it's radius squared. So we know that 2 times 12 times 30 times pi is 720 pi, plus, order of operations, we square this first, so 12 squared is 144, times 2 is 288 pi. These both have pi, so I can combine them. And when I do that, I get 1008 pi inches squared. Once again, if it asks you to round or estimate, or how much paint would you need, or any real-life application problem, you would multiply the pi. Finally, for the volume, pi times 12 squared times 30. So 12 squared first is 144 times 30, and 144 times 30 is 4,320 pi inches cubed. So that's how we solve for the lateral area, surface area, and the volume. Now let's say we had a cylinder that had an area of the base of 144 pi. And it had so that's the area of the base. And the volume of this shape was 1,440 pi. And I want to solve for the lateral area, the surface area, and the height. Well, first off, think of your formula. V equals big B times H. Well, I know what V is. It tells me it's 1,440 pi. I know what big B is 144 pi, but I don't know H. So I can divide pi into both sides, and it goes away. Then I divide by 144, I'm left with 10 equals h. So my height of this cylinder is 10. So sometimes we have to work backwards. Now that I know my height, I can find my LA, because that's 2 pi RH. So it's going to be 2 times pi times the radius. Uh-oh, we don't know the radius yet. How can we find the radius? Well, we have big B is 144 pi. Big B is the area of the base, and I can rewrite the area of the base as pi r squared equals 144 pi. Pi's cancel. Take the square root, so the radius is 12. So 2 pi times 12 times 10 gives you 120 times 2, so 240 pi for the lateral surface area. And finally for SA, it's going to be 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. So 2 pi times 12 times 10 plus 2 pi times 12 squared. So this gives you 240 pi plus 144 times 2, so 288 pi. When you add those together, you get 528 pi. So it's important that sometimes we know how to solve for the radius backwards. All right, let's say Campbell's soup, this will be the last one we do, that Campbell's soup is trying to figure out how much labels they need, how many square feet or square inches each label has to be. They know their cans have a radius of 4 inches and that the height of their cans of soup are 6 inches. And they want to know what is the surface area of the label of their can. If you think of the label on a can, it doesn't go on the top or the bottom. So all I want is the lateral surface area, which is 2 pi RH. So 2 times pi times 4 times 6. So 2 times 4 is 8, times 6 is 48 pi inches squared. Now, they're not going to call a manufacturer and be like, hey, I need to go ahead and grab 48 pi inches squared. The manufacturer is going to be like, what are you talking about? So what they're going to do at this point is they're going to do 48 times 3.14, and they're going to say, okay, well, that label is roughly about 150.72 inches squared. All right, so please make sure you do your homework and practice doing the cylinders. Thank you for watching.